Zoom, boom, boom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Boom, boom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Boom, boom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. What's up, guys, and welcome back to No Collar Entertainment. This is Matt.
This is Juice!
And we are so hyped to be here today.
Well, it is Side Chick Friday!
Side Chick Friday! Yeah!
Originally supposed to be Side Chick Wednesday, but due to some scheduling issues, we had to move it to Friday because I am a busy barber.
Because you gotta get that bag, bro.
That's right. I am a busy barber this week. It is Memorial Day weekend, and I've been busy. So, move some stuff around, and we are here now for another episode of The Wheel. And Matt, why don't you tell the fine folks amongst the interwebs what we did today?
Okay, I just want to make sure we were good on sound. I am pulling that up now. In the meantime, enjoy this musical composition by Juice as I pull this up here.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Make my heart go.
Boom, boom.
My supernova girl.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Make my heart go.
Boom, boom.
My supernova
Girl,
girl.
girl.
Baby, before we get started, can I just get one zoom, zoom, zoom
Not
from
fair.
you?
No.
Come on.
Never.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Nope.
Just
Oh, Lord.
so, if you haven't been able to guess yet, today we will be discussing Zenon.
A classic.
The classic.
A classic.
The classic. The unwavering. The solid Disney Channel original movie, Zenon.
It's so solid that like 10 minutes into the film, you were like, wow, this movie is so terrible.
It is solid major. Zetus Lapidus, babe. I'm gonna need you to bring the excitement up a notch. Zenon Girl of the 21st Century is a Disney Channel original film. An inquisitive teenager pries into suspected dodgy dealings on her space station home and ends up being sent down to Earth.
A fate worse than death, I'm sure, for most people.
Yeah, I mean, don't drink the water.
It
It is
it's
directed.
funny because it's true.
It is directed by Kenneth Johnson, who also did such pioneering films as The Curse of the Dracula, the Bionic Woman, Alien Nation, V,
Not for Vendetta? Just
and did the story for D3, The Mighty Ducks.
Oh god, D3?
D3 was
I actually like
But not
D3.
D1 or 2.
also developed Lou Ferrigno's The Incredible Hulk.
I don't know if that's... I'm really not sure if that's the movie. Probably not.
Written by, Marilyn Sadler and Roger Boland wrote the book, Zenon Girl of the 21st Century, and Stu Krieger did the teleplay,
Uh-huh.
who is known for such classics
Oh god, no.
as writing the screenplay for The Land Before Time.
Okay.
The first one or...
The first one.
The first one.
Okay. That was
Um,
like 20 years before that.
in the Army now.
Oh, with Pauly
Pauly
Shore.
Pauly Shore.
Oh god, help us.
Um,
That's a giant slide.
And he is the developer of the late, great Toot and Poodle. Toot and Puddle. The
What?
2008 to 2009 long-running animated series.
It's 2008 to 9.
Yes.
So that's 10
so-
episodes. for
And then
all
the
three.
sequel, Zenon Z3.
No.
I feel like the
wait.
fact that his name is attached to Land Before Time is one of those, like, he kind of, like, named some of the characters and then that was it.
No, it said screenplay. He did the whole
So wait, he.
Oh, that's the third one. There's
Yeah.
actually
It's
Zenon
the
the sequel.
Yes.
Oh my god. Did helped on the Rugrats movie.
Okay. In what capacity?
Additional something.
Oh, okay. Well.
So basically nothing.
Yeah, basically nothing.
No, he did the screenplay for The Land Before Time. And that's pretty much it.
So-
Oh, The Parent Trap 2.
That's not the that doesn't
That's not the Lindsay Lohan one. That is the actual sequel to the old
original.
school Parent Trap.
So basically, he peaked after The Land Before Time is what we're getting at.
He peaked and one movie and then bowed.
So he's a one-hit wonder.
Yes.
He is a
How do you slide that badly? Jesus Christ.
However, this movie got an IMDb rating of 6.3 out of 10, which is higher than some of the Godzilla movies we watched.
Yeah, okay.
That's not
a
much.
whole fucking lie.
The very first featured review, before we get into discussion, is titled, "Don't Be Ashamed."
Oh,
So-
that's hilarious. I have something to on that note.
If I may, just a little excerpt. This movie came out when I was maybe 6 or 7 years old. I fell in love with it, and the sequel. I almost called it the sequel. Zenon the sequel.
It is the sequel.
Truthfully, after a while, I outgrew Disney Channel, especially once the DCOM started to get beyond corny. However, Zenon came out in the golden age of DCOMs. Is the movie a bit unbelievable? Yes, of course it is. Is it cheesy? Yes, the lingo makes you cringe sometimes.
That's not even the word I would use.
I watched the movie again last night, though, and realized that this movie has something that the rest of the DCOMs doesn't. Good acting. Kirsten Storms is amazing as Zenon, and with her insanely expressive eyes, she works as hard as she can to make the words she's saying not make you laugh. Especially the 7 odd times she explains Cetus Lapidus.
Only 7.
That's the lie.
As of last night, I've decided that I shouldn't be ashamed if I still like this movie. The clothes are hilarious. Since the future, we apparently have flashbacks to the 80s. And same with the words stellar. This movie also has a plot that you can't predict right away. When Lutz puts the disc into the Class 4 system, we don't know what he's doing, and neither does Zenon. And the idea of grounded, meaning being sent to Earth, is brilliant. Overall, this movie is a bit hyper and a bit corny, but it's one of the few DCOMs that I've watched recently that actually has a somewhat believable plot and great acting. So those of you around my age, don't be ashamed if you still love this movie. It's much better than being in love with High School Musical.
Okay, so before you go any further, I actually brought this.
That's it. I'm done.
I brought this sound up on my phone that I was going to play, and then you read the title of that. So I want everyone on the stream to hear exactly how I feel right now.
Why can't we be ourselves, huh? Why can't I be me? Are you ashamed of us?
Very.
That's how I feel about everything, everyone. This person who wrote that is the fact that they are old enough right now to vote and make decisions that will affect me just depresses me even more. I don't understand how you can look at this and not be like, yeah, that was pretty terrible. I mean, yeah, it was fun. I'm not saying it's fun. I understand why you guys would say it's fun. But, like, but it's still fucking awful.
Just one zoom.
No!
And you'll feel it in your bones. You'll get it. It's kind of like COVID. It's very contagious once you get it.
I don't want to spoil anything for anybody who's watching right now from X-Men, but I'm gonna say let's not talk about skeletons right now.
With that being said, so thoughts on the movie as a whole. Juicy, would you like to start while Ari hits a critical mass?
I don't know. Do you want me to go first? Like, so I can get this out of the way?
No. Oh, let's skip to the end and just say it's a 10 out of 10. Welcome in, Strange.
I threw my shoe at Matthew. You're not big. You're
Okay.
Matthew now.
Oh, God.
You're out of shoes.
Fine, Matthew.
Oh, it's got it's serious.
Ooh, my name is Babe.
Nope, it's Matthew's right now. Like switches like just go to dumb.
Juicy, your thoughts on Zenon Girl of the 21st Century?
Nostalgia.
Oh God, yeah.
It's pure nostalgia. This movie came out in '99. I was 12 at the time, and yes, why is a 12-year-old boy watching Zenon, girl of the
I was
21st?
10.
That's your prime age demographic. Exactly.
I could have been a little bit younger.
No, the
No.
main character is 13. That's who they're attacking.
That's
Yeah.
fair enough. I mean,
And I do say attacking purposely.
yeah, because I mean, at 12 years old, she's pretty.
Oh, yeah.
At 12 years old, Kirsten Storm's
No,
pretty.
and I had a crush on Raven
Simone, absolutely.
all the way through my teenage. Dr. Dolittle 2 was like a sexual awakening for me.
Jesus.
I take it Ari has some notes.
Ari's taking notes right now. Let's go.
We're gonna get there. But no, Raven Simone, like, really, like, she was like 16, I think, in Dr. Dolittle 2, and I was like 14, 15,
yeah.
something
No,
like that.
so
So it was like, oh my god, she's fine.
That's another thing we'll discuss afterwards. But okay, so the movie as a whole, no, it's not great.
Yeah.
But when you remember watching it for the first time, you really don't know what's going on. I agree until they kind of make it obvious.
No, they do a good job unraveling the
And there are some fun moments. The best way for me to explain this movie as a whole would be Overload Major.
Overload Major. Yes, Zetus Lapidus, you're right, jeez. So by the way, we are making Zetus Lapidus a thing, so make sure you use that in your normal everyday lives.
Hashtag Zetus Lapidus.
Yep, it is an exclamation as in, oh my god, or no way, or something like that. And also, Fetch. We are making Fetch a thing.
Fetch is going to be...
So me as well, super nostalgic. I can tell you, just at the end, you know, watching it from a critical standpoint, it was like, okay, there's a hole here, there's a hole here. It's not the greatest movie in the world. And then he started the song, and I remembered the motions and the dance, and it was like, it was full of nostalgia. You and I are over here on the couches laughing and singing and having a good time.
I have this song in my Disney Channel playlist. Or, I'm sorry, not Disney Channel. It's in my Disney songs playlist because...
It's a banger!
It's a bop. It's a bop.
It's a banger! It really is. And I remember jumping on the bed and dancing like a 10-year-old fool and trying to, like, mimic the movements and everything along with my NSYNC and Backstreet Boys videos because that's what was hip at the time. Mm-hmm. And it was good. It's weird how Fetch became a thing because we were trying to stop making it a thing.
That's usually how it works.
So it's full of nostalgia. Now, there are plot holes abound. The third act is rushed. Acting, I can't agree with him. It's not great by any sense. But there are a couple of actors in there who do a very good job. Namely, the kid who plays the love interest. He does a good job.
Gregory Smith, I believe, is his name.
Yes, he is also in Patriot, and he's very good at Patriot.
That was his very next project that he did.
Yeah, and he's very good in Patriot.
For all you see until he gets killed 6 minutes into that.
Wow, spoilers. What if we want to talk about Patriot?
What, another 20-year-old movie?
Yes.
Almost 24-year-old.
We have to give everyone the week to prepare. The Captain Plank,
not
is
Pike.
very good. He does his job, which is the same character he plays in almost every movie.
Yeah, authoritative figure.
Authoritative, bumbling figure.
Yeah.
Raven Simone is at her peak of acting. Her peak lasts a lot longer than this movie. But she is definitely like, I love acting Raven Simone.
Yeah, she's still very enthusiastic of the fact that she's involved in film or in filming.
And that brings a warm feeling to my heart to see that again because it was a better time. Everything about this movie screams nostalgia and my childhood. And while it is not the best movie in the world, it is still fun, and it will give you a laugh, and it will put a smile on your face. And
or
you're airy head and you're having an aneurysm.
It'll make you regret every decision you've ever made up until this point.
Even marrying me, apparently.
It's
so before we get into good, bad, and ugly. Ari, your general notes on this movie.
Okay, so my first one that I have is nostalgia, on the points of nostalgia, I feel bad for your childhood if you thought this was good.
You want to speak up for the microphone?
Yes. Oh yeah. So on the point of nostalgia, you guys have thrown that off a few times. That I feel bad for your childhood if you thought this was good.
There
I'm sorry.
you go.
Did everyone hear me this time?
Do we have the emotion behind it? You're just like kind of just talking. I mean,
No,
come
I'm
on.
reading my notes. I'm actually taking notes on this.
Oh, okay, continue.
Yeah. So that was the first one. I feel
She's
bad
having notes
for
on
you.
our discussion.
Yeah, no, on your discussion and like because like this movie was that bad. The dialogue was so painful. I would rather pass a kidney stone. This movie would have been instantly watchable. Right now it's barely at that, but it would be immediately watchable. Not saying it's good, but watchable without a question. If Raven Simone was the star instead of she was playing the sassy, non-white best friend side character that we all know exists in Hollywood and a trope.
Who actually saves the day if you think about it?
Very much so.
They usually do because they're a better character, but we're not gonna spend time on them because racism.
But no, they do because she gives up her spot for her to dance with them and makes her.
After she gets to spend the entire movie being focused on, and the movie would have been better if Raven Simone was in charge, and you know it.
Well, none of the shit would have happened that happened properly if Raven Simone was in charge. So then you don't even have a movie.
If the movie was exactly the same way it was, and they just recast it the other way around, it would have been a better film.
God, I hope Luck of the Irish is on the list.
I was just about to say that, but I wanted to wait for
that
her.
one was past my generation. I had grown out of.
I
Disney
was
by
still
then.
watching DComs around that point.
Okay.
The last one I was gonna say was that writing was designed to mimic what adults think children talk like, and just change it to have a science angle.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And why it doesn't feel natural, believable, or enjoyable at all.
Cetus Lapidus, what do you mean, baby? It hurts. It actually hurts.
Kidney stones. I'd rather. While going through dental surgery.
Oh, I'm making it a thing. Okay.
Oh, it's just like Aunt Judy said. She would
Not as
rather,
long. No, I'm thinking like more specifically like without like, you know,
No, it's like she said she would rather have
2 weeks of dental
65.
surgery.
Yeah,
I would rather specifically have past kidney stones while simultaneously also have one of my teeth extracted without like any sort of
anesthetic.
anesthetic. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, Jesus. Cetus Lapidus. That's extreme.
That is the level of pain.
That is extreme major.
It's straight major.
There,
for sure.
and we brought up a point that like there are. I feel like there's so many other things I could do to roast this fucking movie, but I just don't have time.
Actually, I feel like you might.
Let's go.
God, you fucked up, dude. You remember that Disney Channel original movie, Can of Worms?
Oh God.
You just opened it.
Well, we have other sections.
Before we get to that, I was gonna say that you were mentioning about how like it got a better rating than Godzilla movies or whatever, like, and those were all of them were way more enjoyable than this. At least they are novel by the fact that they are foreign films and they have monster shit.
You're right.
This was a challenge to get through on a few different levels.
Okay. To put it in perspective, it is 0.2 points lower than Twister.
What?
Twister got a 6.5.
Who hurt these people? What the hell is wrong with him?
I thought you would like that.
That's horrible.
I got one more to look up.
Oh God, what?
So while Matt's looking that
Go ahead.
While Matt's looking that up, Strange said, so you're not giving it a 10 out of 10. So like what, a 9?
Oh, Tremors is over 7. Okay.
Yeah, no, Tremors is
Better than Twister though?
Wait, what?
So this movie
Tremors is better than Twister?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I'd like to have that discussion.
That's
Anyway.
I have to watch the movies first to be part of that discussion. So anyway,
Well, I think I put Twisters on mine. Tremors should be on yours.
there you go. So now we have 2 new movies for the.
There you go.
the list.
They're on the wheel.
They're on the wheel. So, moving on. What's next? The good, the
I
bad, and
can't
the
believe you haven't seen Tremors. Anyway, yes, we're on good, bad, and ugly.
again.
If your thoughts were complete for that segment.
Not a chance, but we don't have the time, so we'll just do it.
Okay, so the good. And I'm going to start with Ariane with a caveat. You have to find something good.
Okay.
Okay, so we're starting with the good. So, Ari, you're good on Zenon Girl of the 20.
Raven Simone.
Okay, what else?
That's it.
That's There's gotta be more than that.
Not-
There's gotta be anything more than
There-
that.
no.
The song, at least.
Ew, the song is like one of the worst things on there.
What?
Yeah.
Alright, so, Juice.
Terrible.
The good.
I know, I agree. Well, so you probably agree with me.
No, I do not. I love that song.
Oh, okay. You said terrible. I assumed you meant everything.
Our love is automatic.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Make my heart go.
Boom, boom.
My supernova.
Anyway, so the good. While the song is bad.
In a good way.
In a good way, yeah. The song is bad. So the song is bad in a good way. That's why, and so I put it under good because it's a bop. To me, it's a bop.
It's so bad, it's good.
Yeah, exactly. It's so bad, it's good. Let's see.
Strange says so you're not giving it a 10 out of 10. So what, like a 9? Oh, I'm sorry.
I did read that while you're looking at the factoid up. There are certain little bits certain parts in the dialogue where Zenon isn't talking, where it feels like something like a conversation teenagers would have, where you don't get excessive amounts of the lingo, especially of the space lingo.
Why under good?
Why under good?
Yeah,
because they felt authentic. He's saying.
Yeah,
some of the conversations felt authentic when Zenon wasn't talking.
That feels like a bad to me.
When the main character is not talking, the conversation.
That feels like a bad.
Her talking, a lot of her dialogue.
Yeah, we'll get to the bad and ugly.
Yeah,
I know we were already there. Apparently,
No,
I just understood what you're going for.
See, the bad and the ugly is this whole movie for you. There are moments I don't really care for Raven's for some of Nebula's dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's just going along with everything. But again,
she delivers it better than what's her face does. To me.
I think
we're not arguing each other.
No, I understand.
I definitely think some of the recorded lines, like on the data pad, those felt weak.
Yeah, she probably didn't have anyone to play.
Yeah.
Right, because she's just talking at a camera.
Yeah.
She's just talking to a camera. And other than that, I really don't have anything else under good. Maybe some of the scenery.
Yeah. I don't think we can do anything for ugly. So let's do great, good, and bad. Kidding. So my good, I really enjoyed the song. I'm putting the song under good. Fuck everyone. I'm putting the song under good. The story does develop naturally. Raven Simone.
Thank you.
Little Easter eggs. I appreciated little Easter eggs in there. I mean, the film opens with talking about President Chelsea Clinton,
right,
and her relationship with her father Bill, and her policies, and starts with a really interesting Easter egg there. And there's other little things there. When Zenon is getting sent down to Earth, one of Raven Simone's piece of advice is don't drink the water.
Oh,
and I couldn't help but if she gets sent to Flint, Michigan, this movie's the best movie ever. But no, there are little jokes in there,
tidbits
that still hold up. That's about all I got. So let's move on to the bad. Not the ugly.
Come back to
the
me.
Bad. Huh?
Come back to me. I haven't done my list yet.
Oh my
Damn. All right. Juicy. Go ahead.
Oh God, the bad. So for this movie, I think I was able to kind of pay attention.
Hold on. Did you see Strange's newest trailer? I got it.
Did not. But
might as well do great, good, and okay, Matt. Let's be honest. It's a flawless movie. Oh my God, this is gonna be Strange's Jeff Jarrett for you. He's gonna Jeff Jarrett me, and he's gonna Zenon you. He has the troll for you now. You're fucked. All right, continue.
I think the screenplay, the writing for this movie, is I could lean it towards no, it's bad. It's bad. I mean, look, I want to jump into the excuse that this is a made-for-TV movie for babies, for children.
However, I would counter that with the triangle. There was a version of Cinderella that was fantastic with Brandy.
Yeah.
That was a made-for-TV movie.
Yeah,
there are good made-for-TV movies.
They are good made-for-TV movies, but not all of them are Disney Channel original movies.
No.
That's the thing. See, like Cinderella is that was a made-for-TV ABC movie.
Yeah,
now, yes, ABC is owned by Disney.
Were they owned by Disney at the time? I don't think so. I think that merger came into like the 2000s.
Maybe not. However,
Strange also says that he already had the perfect troll with you with your favorite game, Dead Space.
He's back his new one. Awesome.
But now he has a backup. Anyway, no. So, made-for-TV movies for Disney Channel were targeted for kids like 5 to 10, 5 to 12.
Yeah.
You know, so that they could be home watching a movie on like a Friday night, Saturday night, and you know they kind of don't have to really break the movie down and evaluate it. It's a distraction.
Yeah.
That's simply what it is. The dialogue is well, that would go under ugly, I guess, but the dialogue, some of the acting choices, the ADR. Oh no, I'll wait till ugly. I was gonna say
this is the tough part of this movie. Like, what do you put it bad and what do you put it ugly?
Yeah.
I had a problem with
that. So obviously, I have not read the book.
Yeah.
I do not plan on reading the book. I would rather read the Animorph books again than read Zenon.
Oh my god, what a deep cut. Holy shit.
Which I have already listened to book 1 because I'm listening to the audiobook. Anyway.
Nice.
I use that to fall asleep. Anyway, if the lingo is a direct adaptation of the book, then dear God. Because we're trying to use the lingo as a way to troll Ariane when we don't even know if they're using it.
Yeah, no, I have a feeling this butchered the book and it used a very thin skeleton of the book.
It is completely possible because was this a 2-hour movie?
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half. It felt longer, and that's another thing. It felt long. Like I'm ready for it to move. And there's a lull in this. It drags in the second act.
Yeah.
So yeah. No, they done bad. But my nostalgia for it will allow me to watch it once in a green moon.
Green. Yeah.
Green moon. So.
When we have kids, we may watch it again.
Yeah. Well, when you guys have kids, I don't know if I'll have kids. We'll
see what happens.
Yeah, that's a discussion for another time. However, no, yeah, the last time I saw this movie was because it was airing on Disney Channel, and maybe I was just scrolling through TV. So I don't know, maybe 20 years ago.
Yeah,
over
probably
20 years.
Somewhere around there.
You know, I probably caught it while it was on like a little marathon to lead into like Zenon the sequel and or Z3 Zenon the movie. But other than that, no, I have not rewatched this movie since then.
You probably never will.
Yeah, probably never will. But it was fun to revisit it. I was excited when Matt said he put it on his list because I knew what was gonna happen,
and I knew it was probably gonna be bad. But it was also one of those things like, how bad did it age? Like, how bad is it?
And
because I watched the shit out of it when I was younger, and when Disney Plus came out, we all had that movie. I know for a fact when Disney Plus came out, I fucking sat here and I loaded up Brink and watched it on.
Oh yeah.
Because it was the shit back in the day.
Yeah.
And we all had that straight to TV movie that we were in love with that we booted up and watched when Disney Plus first dropped.
Yeah. I want to say for me it was Smart House.
When
I found out that the Disney Channel original movies had made it to Disney Plus, Smart House was definitely one of my favorites, and I think it might be because of Katie Sagal.
She does a great job.
She does a great job.
And Katie Sagal.
And the kid from Luck of the Irish is in it.
Oh, okay.
He's the main kid. And the dad, he's been in the dad who's in that movie. He's been in other stuff.
Johnny Tsunami for strength.
Johnny Tsunami's another one. The actor that plays Shang Tsung is in that movie.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's
a bunch of stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's in but still, like, I think Johnny Tsunami kind of holds up a little bit for me.
Well, we'll have to find out when it comes up on your wheel.
Yes, it is on my wheel. But other than that, but as far as Zenon Girl of the 21st Century, the bad, it's got a lot of bad. Matt, bad
so my
for you.
bad. Dialogue is pretty cringy and hard. The whole Margie character is god awful.
Oh, I'm surprised she's not on Ugly.
I wouldn't put her straight at Ugly because she did the best she could with the script she had.
Fair enough.
So I'm not going to put her in Ugly. It's just a poorly written character.
I mean, she's just there to be a bully, essentially.
And an unfair bully, and I don't get the hint bully. Like, she's not even dating this kid.
Yeah, she just likes him.
She just has a crush on him.
Yeah, and he has no interest in her whatsoever.
And it's just a terrible message for young girls.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other thing. There's some problematic issues I have. One of the bad parts I'm gonna have is when she gets down to earth. She's chilling by the lake with Greg, and she eventually brings up, "Oh, my legs are so white; they're almost glow in the dark." Like, if you lived on a space station your whole life, you wouldn't even notice that. You wouldn't care. No one's getting a tan line in space.
No.
So this is just shoving beauty standards down kids' throats, which is part of the fucking problem.
Oh, thank God, baby.
So I'm putting that in bad and ugly, so I may bring it up again. But no, I was not a fan of that. The villain Lutz is painful to watch.
Yeah, he's a very badly written, bumbling assistant.
The actual villain isn't that bad. So actually, I'll put the actual villain in bad, and I'll put Lutz in ugly.
Okay.
So I'm gonna leave it there at bad. I mean, the third act is bad. It is rushed. We are given information that's supposed to be a revelation that they have not even alluded to throughout the movie. The one line that breaks out to me, she's trying to shut down the virus and everything. And she's like, oh, he was going to crash it to get the insurance money. Insurance was not brought up once in the entire movie.
Could have sworn when Greg hacked the security, he mentioned some financial.
He said something about the finance, but he said that they didn't have the money to cover the promised money that the CEO promised them.
Right.
That's really it. They didn't say anything about insurance. So it's still like you expect this. So I'm thinking of it as we're just talking about Zenon Girl of the 21st Century. Supo, welcome into the discussion. So the thing is, I'm looking at it as I get it. Because it's what I figured was happening,
right.
And we got it, like going into it.
Like we as adults.
But this is targeted at 8 to 13-year-olds.
I would say like maybe 5 to 12. I'd go a little bit.
I think it's a little older than that, just because of the content.
Fair
You're
enough.
talking about boy bands and crushes.
Fair enough.
All that. It's teen. It's Y7.
There you go. Yes, thank you. I forgot about TV Y7.
Yeah. So, with that, like, kids don't know about insurance. They don't get it. So, this is really just a fake stakes, and it's not good. We have circled back to you, baby. Would you like to hit us with your bad?
Okay, so the writing was obviously number one. One of the things you guys mentioned, you had the usual trope of non-effective parents not listening to kids because it's doing
Oh,
like
God,
always,
yeah.
and while also not really parenting her because she goes on a fucking spacewalk, which is incredibly dangerous for her, and also if done wrong would kill anybody in that room with her, and very possibly the entire space station. And they don't even like, if you do this again, we're gonna ground you. What? The fuck are you talking about? I got a C on my hate report card. I might have gotten grounded. You went on a fucking spacewalk into the soulless, cold vacuum of space, unsupervised, and they're like, oh well, next time we're gonna do something about this. It's really a problem. While dad is being like incredibly condescending to the mom, like, do we really have to like ground her? Like, I mean, we're on the daughter's side. I just don't want to be seen as the bad guy. Like, and then like, of course, the mom's gonna be the one who's the bad guy because of kids. We're gonna circle back around to sexism in this fucking movie. But like, dad is not doing anything, and so he's just gonna sit back like, well, mom says we're gonna do this because it's her idea. But I mean, like, I really don't believe it. It was so funny though, because I want to be like a permissive parent, and this is what gentle parenting looks like apparently in 1999. No. Fuck you! The fact that she's able to get away with any of the stuff that she does in the first place is because you guys are terrible goddamn parents. Which is shown later on when you guys refuse to listen to her when she tries to tell you anything. But I digress. Also, what else is there? Skipping around, obviously we talked about before. The directing, I didn't really believe in any of the action or acting. Again, Raven-Symoné, and I know that her as a person maybe potentially become problematic later on in life. As a child actor, she was fucking awesome! And this is one of her moments where she's really good in it and deserved more than she got for her role. But, you're absolutely right with regards to her, like, you were talking about when she's trying to talk to, like, a screen. Mm-hmm. And I felt it very obviously, like, her style changed compared to when she was in a room with somebody. It wasn't 100% the entire time because she's still a kid. But I liked her delivery of her lines a lot better than, like, most of the people who were on screen with her, and certainly throughout the entire film. Greg was maybe okay. But he's a prop in a lot of respects, honestly. So, like, the fact they went through this, like, random rivalry between her and another girl on the planet because, of course, we have to have this rivalry, and of course we have to have it over a boy, because that's what teenage girls do. Like, I guess we have other shit that we have to deal with, but you guys already started with this in the first place. So, I mean, like, what are we doing? Where our attention going to be aligned? We don't have a clear idea. So that's the directing's problem. The story is part of the writing, but I'll get into that in a second. The acting, I already kind of got into. Everyone sucked except for Raven-Symoné. And the blank or whatever. Convoluted, obviously. Stakes and issue. The song, fuck you guys. I couldn't say that goddamn song. It was so generic. And the designs was really just to be, like, like hit all the right manufactured notes that had come from, like, what Disney had been doing already for decades, or at least the last few years, with NSYNC, but they brought in, like, not even their B team, their C team, to create this song for another boy band, basically. That's what it felt like. The costuming... Together, yes. Oh my god, seriously. Like, the costuming, I don't care. I'm so tired of, like, future movies having, like, this weird retro take on the future, which is basically just the 80s, but instead we're going to have it, like, pleather or, like, shiny plastic or whatever, because that's apparently what's futuristic, I guess. And then, honestly, the casting. I really couldn't care less about most of the characters. I didn't really care for Kirsten Storms. She was cute. She did a thing. I still 100% believe that had they switched the roles, it would have been a better film, hope overall. Still, again, all my other points that I brought up before would make it entirely almost unwatchable, but it would be actually watchable if it had been a different main character. So.
Anything else?
My ugly, actually.
Okay.
Before we get to
We're going to let you breathe. You cooked there.
Okay.
So before we move into the next session, a couple things I did want to mention, because after, as far as Raven, because she does not, she gets recasted in Zenon the sequel.
Which makes it even all more worse.
And I'm sure Kirsten does too.
No, she does not.
She comes back?
She plays Zenon in the next two films.
Really?
But what I will say is, from my vague recollection, is she does get better. A smidge. Just a smidge, I believe, in Zenon the sequel. Mm-hmm. Xena in Z3, she is the main character, but also it feels like she isn't because there's a niece, and at this point she's already got to be like a 20-something-year-old.
Okay.
So yeah, there's that, and then Raven does come back, but she's green screened in Z3, so she makes little cameos.
Okay, so I will actually moderately modify my previous statement before with regards to the acting, and I still stand by it.
Sure.
However, the issue is with regards to the writing, and that I mentioned at the point about like how they just kind of threw some of the dialogue together to make it sound like it was futuristic and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not believable to the actors, so they can't make it believable.
No.
That is another issue with the writing.
Right.
Not necessarily just the acting. Acting is always a problem, but the writing makes the acting worse because they don't believe what they're saying.
Alright, so you're ugly.
Ugly. Oh my god. The CG, first and foremost.
Hell yeah, that's on my list. First one on my list. First
and foremost is the CG.
Oh, it's god awful.
It was-
ugly in a
it
horror's
was
ass.
horrible.
I swear to God.
I think you put it perfectly earlier, so why don't you make the distinction
If
you
I
made
can
earlier?
say it verbatim, which I probably won't, but I have seen better CG in Beast Wars than I have in this
And that's
movie.
saying something, because the
Facts.
CG in Beast Wars is
Trash.
garbage.
But I still love that movie. But I still love that show.
Oh, it's a good show.
Good show. Good show, bad CG. The lingo is
Oh, that's funny. My dialogue is my second one on my list. Also.
yeah. Well,
You'll have your turn.
I mean, well,
Breathe.
I don't know if I necessarily want to
I
like
can't.
just say dialogue overall, but
Oh, okay.
the implementation of certain words to create that future the future speak, I guess, dialogue, whatever.
Mhm.
What are we doing? I understand. I understand. Look,
Oh, this one's fun.
As a 37-year-old man, I do not understand a lot of the times what some of these young kids are saying. Like, to me, hot is still attractive.
Is it not?
I don't know what I don't know what kids are using for attractive anymore these days. You know,
Seemed hot was still like Jennifer's.
it probably is. I mean, who knows if it is? I mean, something can be fire now. Something can be what else? I don't know. If Breezy's on here, Breezy can help with that. But
Lit, whatever.
yeah, lit. Holy shit.
Whatever the kids are saying.
Yeah, whatever the
they're
kids
not
are.
hip.
Yeah. So lit is the new hot, apparently.
Mhm.
What up, Matt? You're close to the kids these days.
Oh, am I? God,
you're
fuck
better-
them kids.
I am literally living amongst them. I try my best to just not
Let's
listen to
see.
anything they say.
I know lit. Facts is a big one.
Yeah, facts.
Hunted. Keep it hunted.
Keep it honey. Keep it honey. Keep it honey.
Yeah.
Wow, how terrible do we sound as millennials?
Oh,
right?
terrible.
Oh,
Probably.
extremely.
What is it even Z? I'm like surrounded by alpha right now.
I'm millennial.
No, but she
work with
she
alphas.
works with alphas.
Oh God.
Like older alphas.
Oh God, help you.
Yeah, seriously.
So okay, so here's the thing. I get it. 1999. You're trying to come up with future jargon. You're using words that mean something at that point and might mean it's bad. It's
It's terrible.
Real quick, just because Ari will appreciate this.
Okay.
Strange says, I just thought of the Simpsons old man yelling at Cloud. I figured you'd get it. Yeah, alright.
Yeah,
Continue.
that's fair. That's fair. Ugly. You said Lutz. That's yours though, but
No, take it. That's fine.
No, yeah.
We have multiple ones. We all have
That's
the same
fair.
ones.
We
It's
all
fine.
agree Lutz is terrible.
God. I think I'm out. I think I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hit CGI first. That was fucking painful.
Yeah.
Oh God, it was bad. The song.
Yep.
The song is equally the best and worst part of this fucking movie. It is fun. It is nostalgic. We're sitting here rocking out laughing, but Ari's completely right. It is such a pandering, buy this album, you children. Make sure you talk to your parents about money, money, money. Give us more money. It's obvious, so I have to put it in ugly, too, because it is corporate shilling.
Fair enough.
Corporate shilling in general in this movie, the ugly.
Oh, yeah.
The dialogue is trash. Another black character in movies whose superpowers is electricity or technology, since he's the hacker.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's true.
As well.
There was two of them.
Yeah.
There was two of them.
Yeah, and they both had some kind of technologically electrical power that they brought to
They are one step above
to
props,
the story.
for that, right?
Oh, yeah. But a very important step.
Nah.
League of Their Own.
They were a more useful prop.
Yeah, Greg's a prop. Also, Zenon herself is in ugly. Because she has the worst version of the Eric Foreman effect. When I say the Eric Foreman effect, what I mean by that is when we all watched that 70s show as teenagers, we were all rooting for Eric Foreman. Right?
Yeah.
We're all rooting for
Eric and
all
Donna.
Hyde and Donna and all them. We're all cheering for them. And now we go back and watch, and we are all rooting for Red fucking Foreman.
Yeah.
Because Red is the only likable character in the entire goddamn movie at our show at our age.
It's like once you hit 25 or 30,
Yeah. Once you start dealing with these fucking kids,
you realize Red was right.
Red was right.
Yes.
And Zenon, but she's the worst version of that because I can still look at Eric Foreman and go, "You're a dumbass kid, but you're a good kid."
Yeah.
Zenon's a little shit.
She's she's an annoying, poorly parented, possibly spoiled little shit.
Zenon should have been whipped with a belt before being sent to her. Okay, that's another conversation. The point is that, like, she deserved everything she got in this movie. And whether she was right or wrong, that's the part that pisses me off the most. She was right, so now she's justified in all her actions. Yep. So now she's going to be a worse little shit over the next 5 years of her puberty. It's terrible. It's a bad message. Like, as long it preaches to kids the ends justify the means.
Yes. And
that's not good.
By the way, Strange, no, there is no Red slander on here.
No,
we are pro. No. We are pro Red.
We are pro Red, dumbass.
Oh my God, you are Red.
This has been made apparent to me by other people.
Yeah, you are Red when it comes to wrestling.
Yes, I know.
I think you need to start using dumbass in your.
It's coming. It's my goddamn it. My goddamn it is my dumbass.
All right. Anyway.
Oh God, it's not a good movie. It's just, it's not. I'll never go back and watch it again, probably.
Thank God.
Even when we have kids, they'll be like, nah, I never need to see it again, because now I know. But it's still, you can kind of see, if you look at it, you can see why, as a kid, it pandered to me. And because it pandered to me, I have this thought in my 30s going, was it good? And the need to go back and see.
And find out, yeah.
Yeah, because I'll put it this way. So, just the other day, I started Land Before Time. Mm-hmm. We have two new puppies, Ducky and Spike, and since it's their namesakes, I want to watch it again.
Yep.
Is it as good as I remember? Now, Ari swears that we've watched this since we've been together, but I swear we have not. And I got 30 minutes into this hour and 9-minute film.
And you started crying.
And I got emotional. I was like, this is so much better than I even remember it being. There's so much depth to this. It's going on my wheel.
Of course.
And it's like, oh my God, this is everything I remember and more. Mm-hmm. And there's some movies that do that. You go back, you watch them, and they have a deeper meaning now that you're older.
Yeah.
I feel like for kids who grew up with Inside Out are gonna feel that way at 30 watching Inside Out. Again.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Pixar's really good about that, though.
So yeah, so it's those kinds of movies. So I wanted to see, and now I know. No, this was shilling, and this was bad.
And I think, I feel like that's 95% of the Disney Channel original movies.
Yes, probably. So corporate. So it all boils down to corporate shilling and bad messages for kids in general, leading to the little hellions that we were. No, I'm not going to say that because media does not control how our kids act. It's the parents that are not parenting that is controlling how the kids act.
I have my personal opinion on that.
That's a different conversation for another day.
It's both.
But because I said something, I needed to state my viewpoint on it.
All right.
Now, is everyone ready?
Before we get to Ari, Strange wants to know if Matt is red, who is Eric?
Might be Breezy or DJ.
I think it might be Breezy.
Because I feel like Jared and Nick kind of share Hyde.
Okay.
Not Danny Masterson. Hyde.
Yeah, the character.
Fuck Danny Masterson.
The character, yes.
But the character Hyde was awesome.
Yes.
No,
you know what? I think Breezy's Kelso.
No, I know who Kelso.
Let's get into this conversation.
We'll do Kelso off screen.
All right, so
I know who Kelso is.
All right, so we'll figure that out later. Now then, Ari, what is your ugly?
I'm really kind of happy that for the most part my uglies mirror a lot of you guys's.
Okay.
Because you
well,
guys,
because we're real. I mean, we're still critics.
Christ. All right,
we're still critics. It's nostalgia for us.
Yeah.
But we're still critical.
No, we're still gonna be honest about it.
The first thing on top of my list is the same on top of all of yours, and that is
CG.
CGI was fucking horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Awful.
Yep.
Just goddamn awful. You said lingo, I'm saying fucking dialogue.
Okay.
Like the back and forth, the dialogue that goes between them, a lot of times does not feel believable. It doesn't feel natural. A lot of times, I'm not gonna say every time, but in general, it was just either between the delivery or just the actual lingo, trying to interpret it in my mind what they're trying to say, because I'm just taking context clues that felt unnecessary. It was just hard to watch. On top of all of the other on top of what the actual story is.
Right.
I'm actually throwing this in there before I get into some of the more like detailed stuff I have on here, but butchering the original content. I went ahead and looked it up. So the Wikipedia version of the
I was right, they did butcher the book.
So there's the Zenon Girl of the 21st Century includes 5 books according to Wikipedia.
Okay.
The first one, Zenon Girl of the 21st Century from 1996, Zenon's mischievous ways land her on Earth. While spending an entire summer at her grandparents' farm, she becomes a wiser and more mature person, gaining appreciation for manual labor and even helping to raise a litter of puppies.
That's not what happened
Not
here
at all.
at all.
No, she went down to Earth,
justifying her bad actions.
rode a horse, and then conned her way onto a fucking spaceship.
So this is very much the perfect example of a studio fucking everything up.
Yep.
Alright, so they butchered the original content in an attempt to try and basically just sell merchandise and all
there was
stuff.
definitely Zenon dolls and microbe dolls and
Well, also at the same time trying to this is where the media part comes in for me. You brought it up and I don't want to get into a whole lot, but this actually might be
we won't go into the weeds, but go ahead.
Where they're constantly pushing certain messages.
Yes, there is subliminal messages.
The specific one that kind of threw me was the whole subplot with the aunt. It's not really a subplot, right? She's not really a main character, but they have to see
her deal.
Well, her and her aunt have this conversation at some point, and Zenon asks almost innocently, why did you ever get married and have kids? Which maybe a child might ask, but then the response is, well, I just didn't put myself out there, as if like there's something wrong with not having kids or getting married. Like I just chose to have that life. Could have been a very possible answer also. Yeah. And not necessarily you want to discuss the child that you just met 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
And then so at the end, they literally throw the childless, neurotic spinster aunt and a man as a way way of saving her from an obviously unfulfilling and lonely life because she never got married and had kids. Because patriarchy, Drake.
Ari's feminist is coming out. Here we go.
No, because you brought it up, and I'm just glad you.
No, I ain't mad at you.
I'm glad that you did, because there's some stuff that I wasn't when you brought it up. Like, there's something I saw in the movie while you were talking about it, and there's other things I thought about it after you brought up the point about it being ugly and sexist messages. Like, yeah, no, the insidious nature of terrible sexist messages in the movie. The aunt, Marge, Zenon suddenly having body images, and then the other one that I kind of brought up, but I want to make sure it gets reiterated, Dad not taking Mom serious when Mom's trying to hold the little girl accountable. Like, that's shit.
Let me go back, because there was one I really wanted to bring up.
Please.
That fucking terrible trope of parents saying there's no danger while they're the ones in danger, and the kids warning them they're in danger, but they have to protect the child from this, so they can't say they're in danger. They're on the video call, no, nothing's wrong here, a couple glitches, no big deal. Susie gets the call, why is everything falling apart?
Because
like,
your child warned you.
And I'm like, you just got off the phone with someone who is literally telling you what's going on. As you're sitting here saying, I don't understand why this is happening. Like,
I understand that there's very much when you're growing up, like, not feeling understood by your parents, and of course your parents struggling to try to understand you, but there's also, hopefully, in some instances, times where they listen, at some point in your life, and you need them to, right? Because there are times when you and the child are going through something that's actually really super fucking important, and you need your parent to be able to hear that you're saying something. And unfortunately, the reality is that, no, that doesn't always happen when we need it to. We know that. But the problem is also when you do movies like this that they encourage this message almost to an extreme, it is kind of like separating the kids from like, okay, see, TV's telling you that your parents are going to listen to you, so you shouldn't try.
And I want to go to like one of the biggest and best reveals in Game of Thrones was a child telling their parents something, and it's lighting a light bulb in the parents' head like, from the mouth of babes.
Right.
No, like, holy shit.
Well, yes, exactly. Like, there's like a lot of instances where like you're actually, you know, not actually a good parent, but like, because it's hard. It's hard being a parent. It's hard. Being a kid is hard. Being a parent is hard. But you do want to try to like listen to what the kids are saying, because they are other human beings, and that's what they want, just like you do. But so also to throw in there that I noticed it. I was trying to like back off it, but like I realized now thinking about like, no, there was this also other trope of or trend within using the racist message of perpetually helpful minority supporting the spoiled blonde white girl who was apparently the center of everyone's world despite any danger or inconvenience to themselves for doing so.
Yeah.
And then this is why I wouldn't want my kids to see it. It's not because of the action or the terrible writing or anything like that. It's the insidious nature of the sexist and racist messages.
No,
I wouldn't want my kids to continue seeing stuff
I can get that. Yeah.
The last thing I will say is the Red Foreman effect, except. So, here's the thing. I agree with you with, like, this movie being an clear example of when you're a kid, if you watch that 70s show as a kid, agreeing with Eric most of the time, and then, like, not really agreeing with Red or whatever, like, you rooted for Eric. And then, of course, you're an adult, and you're like, yeah, kids are stupid. But then, like, the other thing is that even when you didn't, that show at least was really good about, even when you didn't, like, you were rooting for Eric, and you didn't really necessarily always agree with Red Foreman, you understood.
Yeah.
And when it was important, you also understood why Eric was being a fucking dumbass.
Yeah.
And I see it at times with kids now, whatever, where, like, they want to try and get away with something, but when you explain it to them, not always, but a lot of times, like, they know they're trying to get away with something. And so when you tell them no, and you hold firm, and you explain why sometimes even too, they understand they were trying to get away with something that they weren't supposed to in the first place. Right? Mm-hmm. So this movie, I think, does a terrible example of showing, like, no, kids understand stakes. They understand consequences to an extent. This movie does not do that. So it isn't even one of those, like, where, oh, you know, I watched as a kid and I can understand where the parents are coming from. It's impossible to understand where the parents are coming from because they aren't real. There's such terrible examples of a parent that it'd be hard to even call them a good parent if they existed in real life.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's where that's like the worst example of kind of the Red Foreman effect, because like these people would never be good parents in the first place, so it's hard to even go back later on and cheer for them when all you're really doing is just actively cheering for like the main character to stop being stupid.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. No, I see your point. All right. So I'm going to move on to our next segment. And I'm going to add something to it.
Okay.
So we're on rent, buy, stream, or rent. And I'm going to add, so it's buy, stream, rent, or don't bother. Juice, where do you land on that spectrum?
Well, after discussing everything, and at this particular point in our lives and in time in general, this is a don't bother.
Yeah. Yep. No, I think I'm after your rousing argument, sweetheart. By the way, can I be baby again yet, or am I still Matthew?
I'm thinking about it.
Okay, I'm getting closer. All right. Yeah, I would put it as don't bother. If you're gonna watch something written by this guy, go watch The Land Before Time.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't bother. Sweetheart.
You really need me to tell you.
Well, yeah, for the stream,
And
for
he catapult
posterity.
every copy of this movie, including the electronic digital ones, into space and pretend it never
Put it in a
existed.
landfill with E.T.
No, I want it catapulted into the sun.
Wait, you would throw E.T. into space?
No, fuck E.T. Like,
No, not the movie E.T., the video game that's supposedly
Ah,
Atari bought all the copies of it, buried in a landfill.
Okay.
Sure, that too. I wasn't even talking about that. I was just saying, no, just at least this one, like, take all the digital content as well as the physical ones, and then catapult it into the sun, and then scrub the internet if any references to it ever.
Okay.
What I will say, though, to anyone who grew up watching this movie, your nostalgia is... You are blinded by the nostalgia of it, is what I will say. If you choose to go back and watch it, do so knowing that you're going to be criticizing the shit out of it. Because you are now an adult, and you realize that this movie bad.
Before you read Strange's comment, I will say in response to that, and I say this to also the people who are in this room, thinking back on all the things we talked about, and not just like the writing or the dialogue, but some of the messaging that they get into and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That the CGI and it just obviously not aging well and not being as good as you remember. Before you put movies like this one from that generation on the wheel or try to see if you want to see it again and make other people go along that ride with you, consider some of the issues you had with this film and whether you think it's going to be a continuing trend with other ones. Well, I guarantee you, it probably is for our film.
And even if it is, if it's something we want to watch, then we should put it on the list. And the reason for that being, maybe it'll bring to light how prevalent that stuff was, and that's important.
To an extent, I don't need to watch all of them. I don't need to eat all of the pieces of a terrible bag of candy that tastes like puke to know that all of them taste like puke. If enough of them taste bad, I'm just gonna stop eating them.
But the great thing about these movies is they're less like a candy bag that all taste like puke, and more like Harry Potter's jelly beans.
Except that all of them are...
A couple of them taste like puke.
Yeah, but how many of those would you argue?
A couple of them taste like boogers.
Yeah, but...
A couple of them taste like sugar.
But here's the thing. If you reach into that bag and you pull out the first one and it's goddamn puke, how likely are you to reach that bag for another one?
Strange wanted to let me know that Jeff Jarrett was in the main event of Dynamite this week, which makes me very sad, as Jeff Jarrett does not belong in the main event, in my opinion, but whatever.
He also says, Ari really shit on my father, saying that you should hope your parent would listen if you said it was really important. Spoiler, he didn't.
Yeah, I know.
He also says, my parent thing isn't important. Read my Jeff Jarrett thing from earlier, Matt must suck.
I like how Strange's trauma entertains us. With all of that being said, we are on our second to last segment. Out of 10. Juice, would you like to start?
Who gave it Who gave it the other rating? Was that
IMDb gave it a 6.3.
Jesus Christ.
Which, by the way, I gave Bullet Train a 7.5 for reference.
Out of 10, 1.
I'm going to be a little more generous than that. I'm going to give it a 2. I'm going to give it a 2. Solid 2.
Before I give my rating, I have to amend a rating for my previous movie.
Mm.
Gone with the Wind, I originally gave it a 9. I'm actually going to drop it to an 8.5.
Okay.
And here's
Why?
Because the thinking about it later on, I realized that there's lots of parts of movies that obviously that didn't age well. There's other parts of movies that did. There's parts of movies that it's still a fantastic movie and it does deserve to be a higher rated movie in general. But one of the things that made me think, nah, I really gotta take this down is specifically the scene with Scarlett and Big Sam when she's leaving the hospital and she sees them all getting ready to go fight, dig for the South. I understand that there very well may have been some enslaved people at that time who were happy to help out and blah, blah, blah. But that being part of the narrative, and of course they're never going to show another aspect of that at that time that says something different, is a fucking issue. And it was at the time the movie came out. This is not us looking back at it and like, oh, this is a good idea. There were lots of people, African Americans specifically, and especially, who were like, this, not that scene in general, but like had serious problems with the way that African Americans were portrayed in the film in general. And so while I will still fucking love that movie and will watch it, I also recognize that I cannot leave it at a 9. I have to drop it at least a little bit. So 8.5 is where I'm at.
So now you're rating for this one. Is it 8.5 then?
No, I am going to be extremely generous.
Solid 10.
And give it a 2.
A 2, okay. So we are both at a 2. Juicy is at a 1.
A 1.
And we are all at don't bother on this one.
Yep.
So, that is Zenon, Girl of the 21st Century. However, as bad as it was, and how much you don't bother, and how much you say don't bring movies back into this, there was laughter. There was fun times to be had. You threw a shoe at me, which I'm sure felt good.
I didn't hit you, so not really.
But you still threw a shoe.
This was a great time sitting around with you guys laughing at how bad this was.
Yeah, but I would so rather spend that time.
I would rather watch good movies.
Yes.
So we should it should be like the top of the food pyramid. Let's sprinkle our bad movies in there. But every once in a while, throw a fucking bad movie.
Blockbuster is going to be the only thing on my fucking list when it comes to
God, I want to veto that so bad. But I won't because we did this.
The difference is that movie is designed to be fucking bad. This wasn't. They just didn't care.
I get that.
They just didn't fucking care.
I get that, but oh my god, I don't know if I could do it again. I'd rather do Sharknado.
I can do a 2 fights wheel. You have a 50-50 chance. I can do Sharknado again.
Honestly, rate time, don't bother. 0.5 out of 10. I hated this movie growing up.
Oh, there you go. Strange. The real side of Strange came out for a second.
Finally, the truth will set you free.
And back to Troll Strange. They're fleeting moments.
Oh no! When I said I was being extremely generous, those 2 points were for Raven Simone and Raven Simone only.
Yeah, 1.5 was for Raven Simone for me, and then I think I gave it another half point for the attempt. No. Not that.
No.
The song. The song still gets it a half a point.
Yeah.
Because again, best and worst part of the movie.
Yep.
So with that being said, we are on to our final segment.
It is time.
If you could please pull out your wheel.
Yes, sir.
Make sure the sound is up so we get a nice sound effect.
Let me see.
Is mine the only one that makes sound effect?
Probably.
No, mine does now.
Okay. Is there something I have to do, or
do I? Their settings.
Nothing will make me like this movie. I hated everything about it. So Strange. That's fair.
Under just like general settings.
Even Raven Simone? You hated even Raven Simone? But of course, this is before his generation.
Oh, I have it on.
He's younger than us. I was mid-20s.
Well, these movies would play in syndication.
Like this movie would have been out before he was born, I think.
Yeah, but again, these movies were were playing on Disney Channel.
Yeah, he was in high school with Breezy, but at the same time.
No.
Okay. And there goes my phone.
So, Have you spun your wheel?
I have not spun it
You're getting
yet.
ready to spin.
I was making sure that the sound is on.
Okay.
And
Spinning the wheel. The next movie is...
Wheel of Morality, turn. Tell us the lesson that we should learn. Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
Oh my
Is it
God.
like the Irish?
Oh, no. We're actually going to have fun with this one.
Oh!
Ladies and gentlemen, next week we travel to the mystical land of Zamunda. We are watching Coming
to America?
to America.
Nice.
Ooh.
Not Coming number 2 America.
Coming to America.
The original Eddie Murphy classic, which is one of my favorites.
This is
Coming to America.
Interesting, because we've done this. We've done this discussion, me and her.
Okay.
But I am going
Aw.
to leave it for next week, because I think you're going to be surprised.
Okay.
So, all right, Coming to America. Next week, we are going to aim for Wednesday. Side Chick Wednesday will return. So we're going to aim for that. So make sure you check out the movie if you haven't yet. Spoilers will be included in the review. Again, this was the review and discussion of Zenon, Girl of the 21st Century. For old time's sake, can I get one more? Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Make my heart go.
Boom, boom.
My supernova girl.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Make my heart go.
Boom, boom.
My
The fact that you
supernova
got
girl.
up to start dancing in front of me and try to serenade me is exactly why you are Matthew and not Babe right now.
Give us one zoom, zoom, zoom before we
Yes,
go.
no.
Even if there's no emphasis behind it, just say zoom, zoom.
I will go to Mr. Domka here in a second.
That's going to do it for us here at No Cow Entertainment. This is Matt.
There he is.
This is Juice.
Like, share, and subscribe. We will catch you guys next time. These round tables are fun. I
They are.
like this. This is a good time.
They are. I would just much rather than to be actual good movies every once in a while.
Well, I have taken just about all the bad movies off of my list. So,
Okay.
well, that I know of, because there's a couple of them on there I haven't even seen yet.
That's fair.
So, with that being said, we're out.
Bye.
Peace.